But I know you're holding down the fort, doing your thing. I support y'all because I think it's dope. But we're gonna pivot.
Hierarchy of needs include people.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
All right.
People, food, and underneath hookah is just ratchetry, loud yelling, and people with their hands up going, "Hey!" And every time I have been to one of y'all events,
you get that.
I have had my delight of people raising their hand and saying, "Hey!" But we need to talk about this really quick, okay? This is what we need to talk about right now.
Is this on the screen? Everybody can see this.
Everyone
I can't believe you put that on the screen like
everyone
that.
Can see. Everyone can see this. I just want to I didn't know how else to introduce it. Okay, so I just had to rip the Band-Aid off
because this is a very painful topic.
This is going to be conversation until August, and I wanted to see.
I want to correct
how you were doing.
No, let me correct you. It's going to be a conversation until forever.
You're right.
We're never getting over it.
You're right. You're right. No, for real.
You have to have a question because I can't.
I don't have a question. My intention was to just put this on the screen and just sit here and just let us
see what happens.
Just like, because I didn't get a chance to react to it in real time, but like.
Yeah, when I saw your post, I was like,
Because here's the thing. Everyone, I mean, most people don't know. I'm from Miami. So like the University of Miami has a special place in my heart, okay? Second to the University of... All right, we in here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new night of... It's Wednesday night in the Bay. A beautiful Wednesday night, I might add. And this is yet another live stream with yours truly, Alex Auguste of VividLife TV, right here, available now on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and supposed to be Instagram. Wow, y'all! Like I'm shocked that we did not figure out Instagram tonight. Yo, it's kind of disappointing. It's a little disappointing, but it's not as easy as they apparently make it out to seem. So we're unfortunately not live on Instagram right now. I'm a little disappointed by it, but I'm not gonna let it ruin what we have in store. It's obviously January 10th, which means one thing and really one thing only, which is that in 40 is going to be my birthday, which I love that for me. I love that for the world. And there's, obviously a whole lot of things that I have planned in my head for my birthday. There's a whole lot of stuff that I intend on doing for my birthday, but we are definitely going to take everything, all of this, really just one step at a time. I wonder if I'm just making sure that I keep my eyes open here on some of our feeds. Yeah, man. So VividLife TV, you guys know what it is. Each and every time we do this, it is essentially our opportunity to connect as an audience, for me to bring conversations top to all, and for us to engage as one big happy Vivid Life family. With that being said, if you're tuned in right now, one thing to know, and probably the last time I mentioned this, if you're tuned in on YouTube, Twitch, we are all connected right now by way of this stream. So if you are tuned in right now, just go ahead and drop in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know how you feel, where you're tuning in from. And of course, just give yourself a shout out in the chat here. Actually, let's just kind of open that up. We'll open that up as people come in to be part of this stream. But tonight, very, very special stream as I see everybody kind of coming in. Like I mentioned, hop in, hop in, hop in. Let them know where you're tuning in from. Obviously, we got Tampa, Florida in the building. We have Lakeland in the building, if I'm seeing that correct, and hoping that we can connect and just bring in the whole gang from across the way. Shout out to all of my people who are coming over from alexauguste.com. Big thank you to all of y'all. I got some information about that and some news about that, some dope stuff as usual. And we just keep that flowing, man. The goal for tonight, I think it's a pretty good goal. We never know. We don't know what may happen. Things get crazy, right? My goal for tonight, y'all, is 34 subscribers. I'm trying to get 34 subscribers. At the time that I planned this out and the time that I had this show kind of ready to go and kind of in the barrel, 34 subscribers would have gotten me to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And you would never guess that the last couple of weeks has been really good for me. So we're kind of climbing up much closer 100 followers than 34. But I still we're keeping that as our of 34. So 34 subscribers is our number. So if you're with us, share this, grab the link, share it with a homie, share it via text, share it in WhatsApp, share it on Instagram. Let people know that you're tuned in with me tonight on VividLife TV, and we'll keep this thing going, man. Obviously, I want to make sure I keep an eye on the chats here. These chats are kind of complicated, so there's a few different ways to tune in. Obviously, we have so many of these platforms on right now. I'm actually just going to kill some of this because I think it's eating up some of my bandwidth. If you guys ever are like, Alex, what's going on with the quality of your picture? Listen, y'all, like I've already said, I have done my due diligence of talking to Spectrum, but unfortunately, as most people know, if you talk to Spectrum, you're not going to get really good answers at all. So, yo, we got Cherie in the building. What's good? So yeah. I just turned on the heater because it's 57 degrees outside. It's one of those nights where you turn it on, and you turn it off, and you turn it on, and you turn it off, and all that kind of stuff. So let me make sure I get nice and comfy here. I actually just left. I posted it to my close friends, and I don't know how to say it because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing, but I just left one of these hold on 1 second. Sorry. Man. Where was I going? I just left a very popular restaurant in Tampa, and I can't say that I was, excited about my experience. It's one of those things. Like, I recognize that I have dietary restrictions. I also have preferences and things that I don't eat, so I really can't go to the jamboree, and I can't go to the ball with everybody in terms of what they like and what they recommend. But man, oh man, oh man, I was a little disappointed about my experience over. I mean, the experience. Let me not say the experience. The experience was good. I'm talking about Lepley's. The experience was good. The menu wasn't uh it wasn't to die for. I guess I was that's what I was expecting with some of the reviews that I've been hearing about. So it's like it kind of just caught me off guard, yo, and I'm trying not to let it really take me there. But nonetheless, man, we're gonna keep this going. I am not one to always be in the conversations about food places because my preference and my little things about me. I don't like eating with my hands. I don't know if y'all know that or not. So like wings, I really like eating wings on very, very special occasions because I don't always like eating with my hands. I don't like eating and feeling like I'm making a mess. I don't like messy food. So that's like little things about me that are just like one of those, just bear with me, dog. Just bear with me. But yeah, all right. So let's get this going. Tonight's show, obviously, VividLife TV. As you can see here, I'm just gonna start it off with this. As you guys can see, I got the new merch is starting to load up, yo. The new merch is starting to load up. I'm super excited about this. This is now my favorite shirt. Like it's officially my new favorite shirt that I've ever created for obvious reasons. My Real Vivid Life, that's the brand. That's everything that I represent. That's everything that I talk about. But also like I really love the quality of this shirt, yo. Like if I wish you guys could just maybe not reach and touch me, but I wish you guys could just feel this. It's almost like the material of like a hoodie. So it's nice and kind of thick. It's a little heavy, kind of an oversized tee, and it just to me it just sits right. It sits well, and I have been enjoying. I've been enjoying this. So I know we got Twitter in the house tonight. We got YouTubers in the house tonight, and of course we got Twitch on the feed. So we're gonna get into this, yo. I have a story time. All of these, realistically, all of these streams are always gonna start off with a storyline or a story time, I should say. And as I was getting ready for this, I actually remembered that once upon a time, and I looked it up and I checked it out, and all of it is definitely there. But once upon a time, I used to actually do story time on Twitter. Like it was a thing. And this was before Twitter had the threads. This was before you could just link it all together. So it's really, really hard to find the comprehensive story. But anybody who's been following me for some time on Twitter, y'all probably remember back in the day of like hashtag story time and everybody kind of chiming in like, oh boy, what's the story gonna be? And there are some famous ones. There are some very, very I'm not gonna say iconic, but there are some ones that were some interesting stories. The New Balance bathroom story, which was not I read it. I read through it the other day, and that was actually one part of it is like that was crazy as a story itself. The other side of that was like a crazy story for me to have told publicly. And then of course there's the other one of and I can kind of briefly tell what these stories are about. The New Balance one is I desperately needed to use the restroom. One of those like when you're jumping and kind of running in place situations. Oh man, I made it to the bathroom and there's a hook. I don't know if it's in the women's room, but there's a hook in the restroom. Put my heavy laptop bag on that hook. It swung and hit me while I was in the stall, and somebody caught a stray who was on the other side of that good old stall wall. The other one is like just a story from my childhood of me. Kids don't need to hear everything that they ever hear, and I heard the phrase. Put it like this: I was caught running through Publix, punching chicken, roast beef, pork chops, and yeah, you can probably put those two pieces together of what phrase I thought I heard in the streets and ended up going to go do at Publix. But We're not gonna go into one of those kind of story times. It's not gonna be that kind of story time. Anytime we have a guest on VividLife TV, we'll open up with a story time for sure. But today's story time is going to be an interesting one. And it's definitely man, it's a crazy one. So I'm gonna start off with this question to y'all. Chime in via chat. Hit me up. Let me know what your response to this question is. But tell me about a time that y'all either ruined your birthday or almost ruined your birthday. I want to hear about what happened. Like, I want to just give me a quick one word, two word, one line summary of like what happened. And once we actually get these up, I'll tell you guys about how I damn near almost ruined my 31st birthday. Like, when I tell you guys, it was so close to being ruined, like on some really, really bad stuff. It was insane. So chime in, let me know. Let's actually get this chat up if you guys want to chime in on that. But what did you do that ruined or nearly ruined one of your birthdays? I have had friends who have told me that, and I was asking around about this. I've had people tell me that like they drank too much, they ended up crying at the end of the night, which yes, you ruined your birthday. Like that photo of you like in the backseat of a car crying, or that video of you, one, to have video or photo footage of you in that state is wild. No one should have content like that. But I've heard that one before. Usually people mention this whole ruining your birthday thing. It almost always has a significant other involved. I've had one of those birthdays before. Actually, I probably had more than one of those birthdays before. But my 31st birthday, let's get into the storyline real quick. If anybody remembers my 31st birthday, I wrote down, actually, I do this every year, I should actually say. I write a bucket list that I want to do. Like every single year, I write a bucket list. If I'm turning 31, I write a bucket list of 31 things that I want to do by the time I turn 32. When I turned 32, I actually did I did 32. Last year, I technically had 24 bullets, but there were sub bullets that ended up being 33. This year, probably come up with something that's going to end up at 30, 34. So for my 31st birthday, this was my first birthday, basically single, first birthday since, not a not so good trip. My 30th birthday was not good. And so I decided to go to Denver, Colorado, because one of my bullet points was that I wanted to see snow for the first time. It's crazy, on some real, like, being a Floridian type stuff, that I had never seen snow until I was 31. I say that out loud. That sounds crazy. But essentially it was like my plan was go to Denver. It's gonna be snow as soon as you get there. Which was not the case, right? You get to Denver. Is it cold? Yes, it's 27 degrees, it's 26 degrees, but it is not snowing. It wasn't until I got up to Boulder, because I ended up renting a car, drove the car from the airport. Anyone who's ever been to Denver knows how far that airport is from the rest of the city. It's 12 miles, right? So drove into the city, got an Airbnb. Next morning, wake up, I'm heading out, going to, seeing the sunrise on beautiful little mountaintop in Boulder. All right, cool. We're going to Rocky Mountains. Most people probably remember the photo of me like throwing the snow. But before that, here's where it got like dumb, essentially. We're driving up the mountains. We're in and this is just the person that I was with at the time. And we're in a car. I'm driving a car. And at some point, I see out of the corner of my eye, I see white. And I'm like, oh, snap, I got to pull over. Dude, I have to pull over. That's snow. Pull over. I look, and it's like, get out the car and kind of run down a little bit of like a cliff kind of situation. And the road that goes up to the Rocky Mountains is like in between these very large mountain walls. It's almost like they just blasted the whole road through these walls. So it's like you look this way It's up, mountains, mountains. Cool. So I'm going down and I grab my first little chunk of snow. And first thing you do, you try to pack a nice one. I realize snow don't really work like that. And I'm just still going, and I'm just like I can hear the sound of boots crunching snow. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is so dope. This is so dope. And I start stomping my feet, like, oh man, this is so crazy. And I'm jumping around the snow. Florida boy done seen the snow. Florida boy done seen the snow. And like probably like 6 seconds into that, I step and it's like I just felt this like really soft part, and then it turned absolutely solid, and I almost slipped. So I'm like, oh shoot, what is like there's ice underneath the snow. And like right where my foot was, it ended up being like this perfect little window. And in that window, I see water like rushing. Like I'm talking about like full speed ahead water rushing underneath this ice. And I'm like, dude, you're on a river right now. Like, dog, you first off, calm down. And second, like now you have to calculate your steps back to the actual dirt because bro, you're on a river right now. Like, and if you break this ice, if I broke that ice, y'all, it would have ruined my 31st birthday. Like it would have ruined it because yeah, like there would have been yeah, that's a little bleak. I know it's a little bleak. Probably started off as a funny story, but it was one of those things where like I got back to like ground and I'm like I just kind of sat there like yeah, bro, your phone is in your pocket. That river is moving at like maybe 12 miles per hour, dude. You would have fell in there. Your pants would have been wet. It would have turned into a survival movie real quick. So yeah. Um ended up I definitely thought you jumped to your near death. No, Alex don't jump from high places. I definitely it ruined the mood for like a little bit. It was one of those like having fun, and it's like I'm up, yeah, let's get back in the car. Got back in the car and just driving, just like, you're doing too much. You almost real life did too much. So it was yeah, it was definitely a moment for me to catch myself. But yeah, still interested in hearing what y'all got for how y'all almost ruined a birthday. I'm hopefully it's not as bleak as that, but yeah, man, that was a little bit of a tough pill to swallow for the moment. But yeah, Friday is my birthday, which it feels like it came so quickly. Like one minute you're, in December and it's December 12th, and you're like, I got 30 days for my birthday. And then the next minute it's January 10th and you're live and your friends are asking you, what are you doing for your birthday? And you're trying to figure it all out. So nonetheless, still good times. Got a lot going on right now in terms of just transitions. It's a new year, started a new job, getting this stream going. And my only focus for this year, and my only focus even going into January, has literally been like solely creativity. Just can't even lie to y'all. So it's like there are things that I want to do and things that I've been thinking about doing that I'm just like, I don't really know. I don't really want to do that because like I could do that other thing that I've been just, brooding on and kind of sitting on and just constantly just keeping my mind on for the moment. So it's a little tough for me right now because I'm like, do I really want to like do that thing or do I really want to do that thing? So it's kind of trippy. A lot of people have been asking me obviously about what this year is, and travel has come up a lot. And I realized as I'm talking to everybody, everyone's like, oh, you don't know what to do? You should just take a trip. And I'm like, I think that's a valid statement, right? Take a trip, go somewhere, yada yada yada, the whole thing, right? And I realize that like nowadays, that's really all people are doing. Like people are either going on like birthday trips, the whole like birthday dinner thing. You don't really hear that a lot these days, unless it's somewhere really like up there. As guys, I hardly ever hear guys talk about birthday dinners. I don't know why. Like I don't know if that's just me as a guy thinking that maybe guys don't do birthday dinners. Maybe if y'all know anyone who has, it's cool. But like I legit haven't. It's not something that comes immediately to mind of another guy that I know that's done that. But like birthday trips are the new thing. And so my question to y'all is like, is that the new norm? What would you take? Like, what is your next birthday going to be? Are you going to do a birthday gathering or are you going to be the birthday trip type? And I feel like it's a no, it's almost like a no-brainer, right? It's like if I have to choose between going to what's RH stand for? RH, right? I don't recall what it stands for. But RH or Dubai. Like I feel like most people just like take me to Dubai, right? And I completely understand that, right? It's a much bigger experience and all of that kind of stuff. But like at the same time, like then you run into the whole situation of like your friends that can't go, your peoples that can't go. Like I would probably take a trip if it was just if I could move all of the moving pieces around and make it happen, I would take a trip for my birthday. Um, but I can't. So yeah, it's like the birthday trip thing, and there's a Haitian comedian who made a joke about that where he's just like, what happened to us? Like we have gotten so complicated with like, hey, I'm inviting you to this restaurant for my birthday. And now it's like, hey, I'm inviting you like 5,000 miles across the world. Like, can you make it? Like, so he has a really good joke about that. And it's in Creole. But what are y'all talking points? Let's see. Let's take this one real quick. Birthday trips only until 4-0. Oh, birthday trips only until 40. I did a solo birthday trip this year and it was great. Less stress. Yes, that has also crossed my mind. That has also crossed my mind. Low key, y'all. I'm not even gonna flex with you. Low key, the reason why I have not really said anything about Saturday is because there's a part of me that is really, really like, bro, but what if you just dipped on Saturday and came back on Sunday? Like, what if? Bro, what if? Wouldn't that be crazy if you did that thing, bro? And like I cannot even front on y'all and say that that's not like damn near top of mind for the kid right now. But we will see. We will see. It's just tough, man. It's just tough. A solo trip would absolutely be dope, and I feel like I'm glad a lot more people are getting into solo trips. Number one, because less stress, 100%. There is no group chat. There is no one letting you down. You know exactly what you want to do. And even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you still know what you want to do because you already doing it. Um, would I go on a solo trip and probably sleep the whole time? Not in this scenario, right? I got like if it's a 24-hour trip, no, I wouldn't do that. If it's like I got 3 to 4 days, yeah, I probably would take a day to just like absolutely sleep. I'll knock out some good sleep quicker. I'll knock out some good sleep. Oh man, quicker decisions, Alex. Do the thing, think less. All right, so here's the real reason why I struggle with a birthday trip for my birthday. Speaking very, very, very transparently, it really has a lot to do with the fact that most times and consistently actually for the last consistently now for the last 3 years. So 21, 22, 23, now going into this year. I have been gone for December. Like I've been gone from Tampa in December. Consistently in the last probably 2 or so years. Like I've been traveling. I mean, y'all know that. Like I've been moving around a lot, like a lot. So, hey, there are some times when I'm just being transparent. Like sometimes I'm looking on the gram and I'm like, damn, look at the homies. Like the homies are all doing such and such. Man, I ain't seen such and such in so long, man. And then I get back into town and it's just like, okay, like, can I go on another trip? Yeah, I could, but also, a little quality time with the homies, with the siblings, with the people that matter. Would it hurt? No, it wouldn't hurt. Like, so that's why to me right now, I'm kind of like constantly being on the move and constantly being on a go has that little bit of a sacrifice to it. And trust me, I'm not one to care about the sacrifices, but at the same time, running a trip just does it. It means that there's people that just can't go, and I don't think I want to do that. So that's the reality of why I'm like, nah, like I don't think I want to do that. So, but that brings me back to like the whole. It leaves. I remember I got a homie named DJ Howard. He went to USF, and one year I think he was like turning 28 or something. I was like, "What are you doing for your birthday?" He was like, "I decided to stop doing things for my birthday, and decided to stretch the things that I want to do across the year." So it's like his whole year of 28 was his like birth year. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just like handling stuff and doing stuff that whole year. And so I've kind of taken up on that. Like I think that's kind of dope. Um and so I'm just thinking about like maybe that's how I want to do it, which brings me back to the bucket list, right? I could 100% just come. Hold on, y'all need. Hey yo, hey, please. I could 100% just like come up with this idea of like, yo, how do I create a bucket list of things that I want to do by the time I'm 30, 35? Is this real life? I'm turning 35 this year. Oh my god, that age sounds so serious. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Yeah. So a bucket list of things that I want to do by the time I'm 35. I did one last year, like I mentioned. I had 24 bullet points on it. And of those 24 things, you'd actually be surprised. I knocked out 10 of them, which was kind of cool to see. Like it was like, oh shit. Like um shooting the Perfectionist was on my bucket list. Releasing the Perfectionist was on my bucket list, as well as releasing the Perfectionist at an event called Vivid Nights. Like that was on my bucket list as well. It was dope, yo. It was dope. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to promote. Yeah, yeah, we got spam in the chat, bro. That's crazy. Look at this. Look at the size of this message. I'm not, guys, come on. That's crazy. But yeah, so if I can get a bucket list of 34 things is a lot. Like when I used to do a bucket list and I was 17 and I had 17, maybe my bucket list was kind of actually easy. So much I hadn't done in the world yet. The 34 is like like damn, what have I done? Okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me just drop this message on Twitter. this year. But yeah, it's yeah. I think a bucket list this year would be pretty fire. Like I think that would actually be it. So if you are interested in that, guys, think about what you would add to your bucket list this year. And of course, you got to make it the same way, right? Whatever age you're turning, can you come up with that many bullets of a bucket list? I don't know, 34 sounds like a lot. That's actually it's quite a bit of a number. But yeah, we have a lot more that we're gonna get into. But to let you guys know, Friday night I'm doing a birthday. Damn, I guess earlier I said guys don't really be doing birthday dinners, but I'm doing a birthday dinner. Like I just be wanting to have just the homies together. You know what I'm saying? Some Last Supper shit, and just have everybody good energy, vibes. Man, we're hanging out, we talking, we catching up, kind of just meshing and intermingling all of my friends from different edges of my life. Just man, come on, let's have fun. It's not every day that you get to be I don't know, the center of attention in that sense. So, you know, if you're gonna do that, why not, bro? Like have all your people together and get into that, yo. So that's that on that. But I would be very interested if y'all have, if you can come up with a bucket list, your Vivid Life bucket list. 35, 36, 37. I'll ask my mom if she can do one. She's turning 73, right? Mom, do you think you can come up with a bucket list of 73 things? I will help you. That would be cool, right? That'd be really, really cool. So, but yeah, we got some more coming up, y'all. I got some more people coming in, chiming in. Yo, jump in and shout yourself out. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what city. Show some love. Hit the heart if you're tuned in. Wherever you're tuned in at right now, just hit the heart button. Every platform has a heart now. Just hit that heart. Let people know you're tuned in. Share this with a friend and just jump into the conversation. We were just talking about birthdays and creating a birthday bucket list. My birthday's coming up on Friday. I think DJ Brightlight's in here. DJ Brightlight's birthday is on Sunday. It's Capricorn season. Did you send your favorite Capricorn money? If not, you still have time. You have until the 20th. You have until the 19th. You have until the 19th. Send your favorite Capricorn some coins. That's what we like. But yeah, so we got a stream goal tonight of 34. We have been the stream has been growing. I love it. Thank y'all so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you know, we just want to keep that growth going. Just trying to get that going and really moving along. Something else that I also want to bring up too is if you're not doing a bucket list, or if you've never done a bucket list, maybe we switch it up and you look at it more as a goal list. That's kind of, I mean, bucket list kind of has this like notion of it kind of being fantasy and being unimportant things. My bucket list is always connected and associated with things that are important to me. I don't know, like I'm like, it's not on my bucket list to ride a unicycle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not any random just shenanigans that I just, you know, whatever. Like they're goals. So my goals and my bucket list typically go hand in hand, which is what has me interested in this. Speaking of YouTube and speaking of subscribers, I created a goal tracker document last month. I had 5 goals last month, and we can talk about this a little more in depth later on in the night. But I created this goal tracker document, and I'm really interested to see what impact it could have with other people in terms of them setting their goals. This is not something that's like like if you do this, you will hit your goal. It's actually based on a different philosophy and a different methodology where it's just like, here's how you actually track how close you are and what you have to do to get the goal. And I think a lot of people forget sometimes about like nerding out real quick in 3, 2, 1. I think a lot of people forget about like the scientific method, where it's just like you got to experiment, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over. If you found yourself, going back to Cherie and I's conversation last week, if you find yourself every year setting the same goal, man, I got a goal this year, losing 10 pounds, and you're not losing that 10 pounds, it's not because you're not good at this. It's probably because you're not tracking the right thing that'll get you to lose 10 pounds. It's a whole lot to it. It's 9:12 p.m. We're not gonna get deep into the what you have to track kind of thing. But I will say it's like a lot of people don't think about like lead measures and lag measures. This is like a very technical terms and stuff like that. And so I built out this goal tracker with lead and lag measures. Basically, like, hey, this is my goal. My goal was to average 1,200 views for them, like combined average between November and December. Actually, I think it might have been, it was from October 30th to the end of the year. I want to average 1,200 views, preferably for both months, right? How do you get more views on YouTube? Well, you got to post more stuff, right? So you got to create more. Like, all right, cool. Well, I have 3 buckets of things that I can create. I can create shorts, which anybody knows me is I'm already creating shorts. I'm just posting them on the wrong platform. Shorts, videos, and lives, right? And so it was just like create a short, create a video, go live. Create a short, create a video, go live. Create a short. And it's like I wasn't tracking the views. I was just tracking how many videos I was posting. Like that's what you have to do. Like that is your lead measure, right? And so going into that, I'm like, all right, cool. Analyzing, all right, how many videos have I posted? What is my goal? My goal was like, I think 12 just total per week. And guess what, y'all? Like I ended up averaging the 1,200 views across both November and December. And some of it was other things that are really hard to track, but there's just different ways you have to do it, right? You have to create a compelling scoreboard. You got to create a scoreboard, essentially, which is what this goal tracker is. You got to create the scoreboard. It has to be compelling. It has to have the right bullets, the right things to track. It has to be measurable. Can you measure this across the way? It has to have a lead measure and a lag measure. And all of that stuff is already in the document. The formulas, I'm an Excel spreadsheet nerd, y'all. Like I know all of the formulas to do stuff by heart. So percentage of change, how much did something decrease or increase over time? I know that formula. And essentially all of that is there. And all you have to do is just plug in what your goals are. Now, goals versus bucket list is a little bit of a different thing, y'all, and I think this is where I kind of went wrong in the past years. Is like I would write out 25 goals. No one can have 25 goals. Like you can have 25 goals, but if you don't have a timeline for those 25 goals, you really just have 25 fantasies, right? That's not really trackable, and it's probably not even humanly possible for you to do 25 goals. Now, for just November and December in this goal tracker, I just had 5 goals. For this year, I basically just kind of carved out all of the information and the goals, created a new version for 2024 with my new goals in it. I have 5 goals. I have a YouTube goal. I have a financial goal. I have a fitness goal. I have a TikTok goal. My TikTok goal is pretty easy. I just want 1,000 followers on TikTok. That's it. As of today, we are 600 away. We just got, I think, 22 followers. And every Sunday or so, I just track. Like I just go through, hey, where am I at? How much money do I have? Boom, boom, boom. Every time I step on a scale, I just document it. Cool. Move along. How many miles am I running? All that kind of stuff. So I say all that to say that if we can get subscribers tonight, if we can get some people subscribing to YouTube, if I can get some subscribers on alexauguste.com, I have a bargain. And my bargain goes a little something like this. If I get 10 subscribers tonight, which is pretty dope stuff, I will share the goal tracker just as a free template. I'll just kind of just send it out. I'll just put it into the ether on the socials and just kind of let it be, right? Actually, I take that back. It would not go to the socials. It would go to those 10 people. It would go to it would go. So I'll share that downloadable document. It'll be a downloadable document. If I get 20, I will create a video walking you through how to create your goals, how to input your goals, and how to change the information to fit what your goals are. Like I'll actually, I feel like most people have a financial goal. Hey, I want to save this much money by this much time. I feel like people have a fitness goal. I want to lose this much weight. I want to gain this much weight. So there are some goals that are kind of universal across the way. And then if we get all of them, get 34 new subscribers tonight on the show, tonight on stream, I'll actually walk through it live so that y'all can just see what this looks like. I don't have a screenshot on me, but I definitely have it right here. It's literally always available to me. Shout out to Google Drive for that. But if we can hit those markers tonight, shoot, we're sending out a gold tracker. So stay tuned on that. I'll keep you guys posted. We have some tickers, we have some information. I'm tracking that as we go. Usually on a night like this, I have all of these pretty much open. I have YouTube open, but YouTube typically takes a little bit too much data, and that's where my faulty signal comes from. So let's get into it, right? There's a lot of news out, which I just immediately want to go into this Cat Williams thing. That interview now is, I believe, a week old. I think it's about a week old, and it's still kind of reverberating through the ether. Everyone's still talking about it because it was just so much to talk about. First you see the clips. That was crazy because that was January 2nd. Cat Williams just opened the year up with the mess. But it was January 2nd. And of course, for those of y'all that have watched that interview, you saw that it was just crazy in terms of like him opening up the gates and opening up the floodwaters with talking just about drama, talking about the drama of like what's going on, who said what and everything like that. I'm not going to go through every single thing he mentioned because I think we all know by now, right? We've all seen the clips. Not a week. We've all seen the clips of, what he said. That was by far like lowest of keys. The phase on love part was one of the funniest parts of that interview, just off the strength of like, as soon as he said that line, I was like, oh, he's about to dig into phase on love. I already know he's talking about phase on. And of course, Shannon Sharp is like, phase on love cost rate. By the way, I agree with a lot of the sentiment that was Shannon Sharp was in over his head in that interview. I think he did not realize that Cat Williams was going to drop that much stuff on him. And I also don't think he really knew when and where to ask questions to kind of jump in. That was the Cat Williams show for at least an hour. Like, Shannon Sharp didn't really have much. I think in the first 20 minutes, Shannon Sharp says like 9 things. So that's that. I agree with that. But I also agree with his whole thing of like, at the end of the day, you watched it, right? Cool. So again, I'm not going to go through everything that Cat Williams said, but I wanted to kind of actually tap into the conversation about Black comics and the dress situation. Like, Cat Williams said some pieces there that I really don't feel like I've seen anyone really mention in terms of like what he actually said of why he wouldn't do that and why he wouldn't do, a scene in Friday After Next where Money Mike gets, assaulted in the bathroom. Like, crazy as it is because of the fact that Cat Williams has had all this drama over the years, but like Cat Williams basically told y'all he has a standard and he's like, I'm not gonna cross over that standard. And I feel like him calling out, your Martin Lawrence's, your Jamie Foxx's, your Eddie Murphy's, like all of these comedians that have worn a dress. I think it kind of went over people's heads because everyone's like, oh yeah, well, you gotta wear a dress to be famous. Like that's what Hollywood requires you to do. And it's like, I don't know because I'm not in those rooms, but I don't think it requires you to do it. I think it's just a signal of one of two things. Either one, which we kind of know already, which is like the caricatures of Black people make people laugh. Number one. Number two, the caricatures of Black women not only make people laugh, but it's almost like I don't know what to call it, but it's like if you would do that to your people, I am willing to put you on a stage in front of anyone to show them like this guy has no floor, this guy has no bottom. Jim, look at him. God, I wonder if his mother talks. You know what I mean? Like I'm stretching right now, but it's like I think that's what I kind of took from that. What are y'all thoughts on it? What do y'all think about Cat Williams and calling out all of these comedians? And now we're all kind of having conversations about comedians and the dress, right? It's been a topic that's been around not as long as it should have been, but it's definitely a topic that's come in the last like maybe 5-10 years. Obviously you have Tyler Perry who created Medea, and you know who Tyler Perry is, but I feel like it's not as like calculated. There's not a man behind the curtain who's like, ooh, like if you sell your soul to the devil and put on this dress, I'll make you famous, boy. Like I don't think it's I don't think it's like that. Like I think it's just legit. I think it's people see you and they see that you're almost willing to do anything. Because Cat Williams made a very good point. He's like, I just said no. And I said I wouldn't do that. And they changed it because I said no. Let's move away from is that true? Is that not true? It's just the fact that like he stood on it and said no. Like he saw something wrong with it that didn't align with him and was like, no, I'm straight. I'm not going to do that. And so it's like, wow, it kind of makes you think a little bit about like how many times do we put on the proverbial dress and someone sees us lowering our standard. Like that kind of was crazy to me when I was listening to that. I think I was driving up. Yeah, I was driving back up to Tampa when I was listening to this interview, and I'm like, yo, like he is saying something that I forgot who it was that said it. I think it was Cat Williams. Cat Williams told, I think it was Taraji P. Henson. No, it wasn't Taraji. It was Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones, and I might be wrong about this. It might not have been Cat Williams, but I really think it was Cat Williams, where he basically told her, like, you're not desperate. You know what I mean? Like you're not desperate. And just because you're in need of work as an actress doesn't mean that you drop your standard and you drop so low that like you're willing to accept anything. I really think that was Cat Williams who said that. And so it kind of goes into a few different pieces, a whole couple of different conversation points. But my interest in that is just like, yo, we kind of have a little bit of a tough hammer to come down on Black comedians who don dresses, who wear dresses, your Tyler Perry's again. And it's like, I get it. Some of those movies, I've been said, I had always said some of those movies were like, why did we need a Big Mama's House 2? Why did we need a Big Mama's House 3? By the way, unpopular opinion, Friday After Next is not good. I think that is one of the worst. And there's only one other Friday that to me it was just like, what are we doing here? Like next Friday was like, okay, a sequel that we didn't need it, and we're kind of stretching the story out a little bit. Okay, cool. Friday After Next was just like, what are we doing? Like, what is this movie? Like, all of those movies like that were just they were too far. We didn't need a Big Mama's House 2. They solved the crime in the first one. Like and Big Mama's House, the first one was like, it was actually an action movie, and it just centered the Black family. I never saw 2, and I definitely never saw 3, so I can't even tell y'all what it was about. Norbit, I still have never seen Norbit before. Like this ain't nothing new to be like, hey, that's not cool. You know what I mean? But I also feel like with all of that said, how many young content creators are currently doing the whole dress thing right now? Like, again, we're gonna swing the hammer at all the big time celebrities. How many Black content creators do you have? Do we have? Do people have on their timelines and feeds that put on go to Amazon, shit, maybe even go to their grandma house and steal a wig and go on social media and play this role, you know? I know a Haitian comedian, you know, who he has a whole kind of Tyler Perry-esque kind of thing where he's playing his mother. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, but like, yeah, is it always because he's not selling his soul? Like, do we? I have so many questions in that conversation piece. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But my biggest takeaway, like I mentioned, is like, you can't get upset when you're called out for not having a standard, and that to me is the biggest, literally my biggest takeaway from Cat Williams. Right? Crazy enough, as an entertainer, it's like, yeah, as a content creator, there's content that I could create, but I'm like, man, I don't know, that's not me. That ain't on brand. That's like that would be me obviously reaching for attention and reaching to try to get somebody to see and put the spotlight on me. And I'm like, nah, man, I got like, no, it's just not me. As a host, Bright Light talked about it, you know, in that show on December 20th, of like, there's just certain events that after a while you're just like, man, that's not me. I'm straight. And I remember, I think I mentioned it on that stream where I was just like, yo, I wanted to do club events. Like I wanted to be a club host. I wanted to be on the mic. Yo, put your hands up. What's up? We in the bed. We live. If you ain't got HIV, put your hands up. All that weird shit, right? Right. I didn't want to say that. But like I wanted to be a club host. Like, okay, well, that's where everybody's at. That's where the money's at. All right, cool, let's do it. And one day I get a call to do, I literally remember this. And I remember being like, hey, nah, man, that's not me anymore. Like I will never do that again. But I hosted a party at a strip club. Don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. At a gentleman's club. I was the MC. And it also didn't make sense because they still had their guy, right? They still had their Magic Mike guy. Ladies and gentlemen, coming down to the stage right now, get your money, get your dollars ready for religion. Yes, coming to the stage right now, and up on deck we've got Marathon. All the weird strip club name. And then you have me, and they're like, we in there, let's go, whatever. And it was just like I left that night just like, what am I? What am what am I? You know, it wasn't even at the end of the night. It wasn't even at the end of the night. I remember that. It was like halfway through the night. The guy started losing his voice. He's like, damn, Charlie need to go home. His throat don't sound too good. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I can take Charlie's job. And then I saw Charlie, and he was like, Charlie's not happy that I'm in here right now. So, like, I got to tread lightly in this situation. I don't think they really knew that they were setting me up like this to be in a kind of in a hostile situation where it's me and another host butting heads at the same time, two guys on a mic. The other part was the workers, the strippers were getting mad because people didn't have money. Like, the folks who put this party on brought a crowd to the strip club that did not have strip club money. So they're getting upset. I mean, they're getting like mad. Like, they invited hundreds of strippers to this strip club because this was promised to be this massive party. It was not this massive party. And also, every party is like centered around women. You do a party at a strip club, the women are not going to the party because there's women there. So that wasn't thought through. So now it's just guys, and it's a mess. This night is a mess, and it was one of those situations where you know I'm holding the mic and I'm just looking around like, whoa, what am I doing here? And right to my right in the corner, it was these. I don't know. They probably went to UT. I don't know. These two young, white boys, and they're just absolutely drowning this young lady in champagne. And that's when I was like, what am I doing here? Like, this is where I could be. Like, I should probably up here, like, get my whole elbow out the frame. That's how far I could be with this. But instead, I'm here. Like, this is not me. I'm straight. I've never mentioned that event after that night. Like, it was just like, don't even put that on your resume, boy. Like, I got paid for it. Yes, I did. It was cool. It was not cool, actually. Like, I got paid for it. It's not like I was like shorted any money. I was paid promptly and on time. I better have been. But it was just like, yo, you gotta have like a standard. Some people may say you gotta have a brand. Like, you gotta fit within a mold that represents who you are. And that experience just did not represent who I was. Like, I'm so glad no brides whose weddings like I hosted after that were just like, yo, is that nigga in a gentleman's club? I wouldn't even call it a gentleman's club. I don't know if there was gentlemen there. But yeah, it's so to me, I'm like, I think about that. Like, that's again, I listened to that Cat Williams interview, and when he got to that part, and when he got to calling out, Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley, who unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, Ricky Smiley took the biggest L from that Cat Williams interview. Like, no one in that interview took an L as big as Ricky Smiley. That's my opinion. And the reason why is because if you really look at it, out of everybody in there, everybody that was on Friday After Next, Ricky Smiley is the person that the least amount of people know. I forgot Ricky Smiley was in that movie. I'm not gonna lie, and I've seen it twice. So that's that. Yeah, man. I just told y'all a lot. But yeah, it's it's necessary, man. It is necessary. Everyone talks about the whole dress thing, but it basically comes down to like in this whole pursuit of fame and this whole pursuit of like virality and being viral, like it's interesting to see how quickly people just drop their standards and say like, look, I'll do that. Let's do it. And I think that in 2024, right, the year, like we're in the age of Aquarius. This is not the year you don't want to drop your standards this year, dog. Like you do not want to do that this year. So, but yeah, anyways, my bad. Tangent, a little bit longer than I intended to. But what are y'all thoughts on it? What were your thoughts listening to the Cat Williams interview? What were y'all takeaways from the interview? I think I'm interested to see what y'all takeaway was. How far did y'all get in it? It was long. It was like the Jackson Family movie long. You got to break it up into a couple of days of listening and watching because it is quite a bit. Quite a bit on that. NFL playoffs are this weekend. I was gonna go into that, but I do not want to go into that anymore because I'm just, as I was just talking about that and rambling on it, I'm actually much more interested in just that topic, that piece right there. You know, it's like Cherie sent me a video today about imposter syndrome, where it's like you start questioning, like, should I be here? Which I think imposter syndrome sometimes gets a little twisted around because sometimes it's like, am I worthy of being here? And then I think, like, what is it when it's like, I feel like I should be in a different place? I feel like I should be at a more qualified place. Is that imposter syndrome as well? But in the video, they talk about what imposter syndrome means. And I wonder how often we kind of steal our own joy comparing ourselves to other people who probably have donned a dress. Like, probably dropped their standard, right? That person probably got that job that you wanted, but they took a pay cut that you wouldn't have taken. You know what I mean? Or that person probably got the gig, but they whatever. Like they ain't getting paid. They still ain't getting paid yet. Like you just never know what's going on behind the scenes, and it's just like that's kind of the beauty and that's the requirement of having just a backbone of just, bro, I'm not doing that. You wilding right now. Nah. I can actually mention quite a bit of stories in the regard of that. And I do not think I'm gonna do that to y'all tonight. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts? What were your biggest takeaways from Cat Williams interview with Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp? Ocho Cinco also went on to kind of comment on it. There's been so much dialogue about this. There's been different angles upon different angles upon different angles. And I have seen a new thing every single time. My favorite thing, of course, is the quote of the year. Your unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you. I love it, dog. That was my favorite line from the whole thing. But yeah. Whew. Okay, we can go into the NFL piece a little bit here because it kind of goes into there's kind of a flow here. You know, tonight's theme is like, may I have your attention? There's way too much to unpack here. I don't know why liars lie. Yo, dog, he was dropping the first. Actually, I think about it. The first 5 to 7 minutes of the entire interview was Shannon Sharp completely caught off guard by like, what are you talking? Wait, what do you mean? What did I do? Like, what did I do? Like, what? Just he caught him off guard. Like, I can't believe you disrespected yourself like that. I can't believe you let people come on your show and disrespect you like that. And he's like, what? Who disrespected you? You had Ricky Smiley and Shannon Sharpe was caught off guard. Granted, hopefully Shannon Sharpe does sharpen up his interview skills. I mean, he's good. He's an entertaining guy. He's everybody's favorite right now, but his skills as an interviewer at his caliber with his current resume. Shannon Sharpe was on CBS for all of my childhood after he stopped playing football. So I kind of would expect. I have high expectations of him. Put it like that. He is not new to. I'm not accepting that Shannon Sharpe is new to this interview journalism thing. Like, analyst and journalist is a little different. Absolutely, I get that, but like, you have all the right people around you to be able to prep you for that. There was just so many quotes, and I loved every single one of them. With the NFL, it's the playoffs, and it's been kind of interesting to see people's discussions around some of what's going on. So, for context, y'all, the Miami Dolphins, will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to Arrowhead. Apparently, it's going to be 0 degrees in Arrowhead. So, good luck, everybody. Because y'all know Miami is not a team that plays well in the cold. Who else? Detroit is playing the Rams. Houston is playing the Texans. I'm sorry. Houston is playing the Cleveland Browns. And the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Packers. And everyone is freaking out because they're just like, the NFL has to be scripted at this point because of the fact that, well, Mike McCarthy, who's the head coach of the Cowboys, used to be the head coach of the Packers. Tyreek Hill, who plays for the Dolphins, used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Deshaun Watson, who's injured and used to play for the Houston Texans, now plays for Cleveland Browns. And you have all of these like storylines of like this guy versus his old team. And they're like, oh, that's, they're doing that. They're rigging the games to make it more interesting and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, just watch the game because you're going to watch it anyway, right? If they're turning the NFL into a soap opera, you're watching, right? And not only are you watching, but like now we're betting. Yo, sports betting. I'm going to be kind of contradictory on this. Number one, if anybody in the chat wants my Hard Rock sports betting app code, I can share that with y'all. I think one of us will get like a $10 bet. I think both of us will. And I don't doubt that there's money to be made because I've seen the money to be made. I've seen the bets. December 30th for the December 30th game, December 31st games. I betted. I betted $45. This shit is so stupid. I betted $45 on the Bucks game. And I was pretty pissed off actually, because all I needed was that I needed Mike Evans to score first. And a $25 bet would have gotten me $195. Like, guys, that's not a hard decision to make, is it? Like, I looked at the stats, I looked at this, I'm like, I did my little research, and I'm like, dude, all right, let's put that down. I'm like, who's Baker Mayfield's next big target? Chris Godwin. Okay, cool. Like, let's put 10 on Chris Godwin. That's gonna get us $135. I'm like, this is crazy. And this is actually insane. Then lastly, I'm like, all right, the running back is also pretty good. He's pretty shifty. And I went to the Bucks Jags game. So I'm like, all right, bro, like, as long as the running back gets in the end zone, I'm cool with that. Let's put $10 on that. We'll get, I think the total was like, I get like $60. So I'm like, yo, for $45, I can make quite a bit of money. And that is actually when it hit me. I'm like, this game is not rigged for y'all. And I'm probably saying something that y'all figured out, know already, think it. I'm probably not saying anything, but like the whole idea that the NFL is rigged is like, if the NFL is rigged, why are you betting? Right? Now, I don't think there was anything rigged about this game that I was watching. It was, I mean, it's the Bucks. It's the Bucks. Like, I ain't saying anything bad about the Bucks, but I don't think they're pulling a lot of strings in 2023, 2024, right? Ain't much to it. They go on to, did they win? No, they actually lost. They were playing no, they won. They're playing a divisional rival, I think. Was it the Falcons? Somebody. I can't remember, y'all. I'm sorry. But neither one of those players that I betted on scored, so I lost $45. Is the NFL rigged? It probably is, but it's right in front of your eyes. Like, come on. Like, every now and then, like, these little conspiracy theory things come up and people talk about things that are going on. And I'm like, how was that not already obvious to you? Like, how was that not obvious to you? That, 153,000 or more bets per game happened this season. Like, every single sports betting app is advertised during an NFL game. Hard Rock, FanDuel, Dual Kings. Like, there are other ones that are popping up now that I've never heard of. The NFL has sold the sport to sports betting, just like boxing sold the sport to Jake Paul. Like, yo, Mayweather is about to fight Manny Pacquiao again. Like, these little exhibition matches, what do you think they're for? They're not because Pacquiao is going for the belt. He's going for the undisputed. None of that stuff. Like, is it enjoyable to watch? Yeah. Like, when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr., that was a little exciting, right? It was like, oh my God, two legends are gonna basically be fighting in the ring. But guess what? Did you see the rules? Sorry, yeah. Did you see the rules? It was like no knockouts. No one's allowed to knock each other out. No, essentially we were watching them spar. And Roy Jones still walked away hurting, which means I wouldn't spar with Mike Tyson. I would spar with Mike Tyson for money. But like Jake Paul fighting all of these known guys and knocking Jake Paul winning. Like, don't get me wrong, the boy got money to get trainers, but like Jake Paul picking this up in 6 years, 4 years versus guys who've been doing this for 15 years. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I simply don't. Y'all. I simply do not. The sports betting thing is cool. I mean, it's a new norm at this point. I have seen everyone of every size, race, color, gender, identity, everything is now doing sports betting. Everyone's talking about parlays. It's like, wow. Like, I'm kind of shocked that it's kind of taken off in this way, but at the same time, it's, hey, this is the world. This is the world that we literally officially live in. So we ain't much to it. All right, let's take a quick gander at our account. And we definitely just gained 2. And I will take that. 2 new subscribers tonight. Let's go. So yeah. Listen, I am like super, super excited for a couple of reasons. One, I'm always excited about growth. I'm always excited about community. I'm always excited about building people networks and bringing people together and everything like that. And I have had quite a bit of conversations as of late, right? Regarding one, I'm trying to get my guest list for this stream together. And I appreciate Paul. I appreciate Sharif for jumping on and kind of opening up the doors to who they are and what they do in their journey. Because like that's kind of that's what I like. Like I want people to be able to hear stories and things like that. And you know, the idea for Vivid Life TV, I think I've mentioned this before on a previous stream. My bad if I'm like repeating myself. People have been checking it out from day one. But it was like I was on set during an interview, and the interview wasn't. I'm like, wow, like you didn't. I don't think you could have. I think you could have done a little better or deeper than that, right? The video production for it was a little. It's like, oh, okay, that's the. Is that the top? Is that the pinnacle of like interviews? And then you go like look online to things like, you know, Apple. I think Apple TV or Apple Apple Music. Sorry, wow, drew a blank. Apple Music has a series with Zane Lowe where he interviews artists, and Zane Lowe is I think right now he's one of the better. I'm gonna say best because I haven't really looked across all, right, but I think he's one of the better interviewers right now. One, the way he just knows what to ask is really really good. And I was watching obviously his interview with Kid Cudi, and I'm watching it. I'm like, wow, like I'm a big fan of Cudi. Shout out to Cudi. He's got Insano dropping on Friday, so I will be bumping that all day Friday. Brand new album. Like I've been a Cudi fan since '08, and I've seen the Cudi documentary on Amazon. I have listened to every single Cudi album. I have probably listened to every single Cudi album within the last month. Like I'm a fan. Like I like his work. I know his story. And even in that, listening to Zane Lowe interview Cudi, I was still learning new things. Like it was like, whoa, he just knew what to ask. Even Kid Cudi was like, damn, like shit, oh God, like you're asking me some really good stuff. And so I'm bringing all this up because I think as I've talked to people and as I've been kind of chatting it up with people and saying like, yo, come on to the show, let's do a live stream. Obviously, everyone's like, yeah, what are we talking about? You know, and I'm like, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Like we can talk about everything that's nothing. You know, and it's just you and me, dog. Like it's just you and me kind of coming on. And the one thing that I have heard from those folks that I've talked to, also people who I've been talking to about like projects, about like video projects, people who want to book me to do their videos. What I've also heard from people who are like, yo, I want to really tap into being a content creator and all this kind of stuff is like, they're like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about this. I want to stop here. I want to, you know, whatever. And one of the other times that I was, you know, one of the other times that I was having this conversation, I was thinking about myself and I started using myself as an example. And it went something along the lines of like this is like, you know, I grew up very, very curious. All of my friends know that like I know random stuff that is like, why do you know that? Like earlier, I mentioned the scientific method, which I don't know if anyone even cares about the scientific method anymore. Because if they did, we wouldn't have misinformation, right? That's just the reality. But like, I grew up curious. My my dad, like, I just know a lot of stuff because I've always been curious about stuff. Like the other night, Michigan wins the Michigan wins the national championship, and I'm like, yo, who won the first national championship, bro? Grab my phone, I go research it, right? I go down a rabbit hole. It's 2 hours later. Like I'm still looking. Like, yo, this is crazy. So you mean to tell me that the dude just was like he retroactively gave all of the national championships from 1868 to 1934? Like who paid that man to do that? You know what I mean? Like I just found that out, right? I also found out that Woodrow Wilson, who was one of our presidents, he was a football coach, and he actually won the national championship in 1878 or something like that. It's crazy, right? So you see what I'm saying? But yeah, like I just grew up curious, and that made me have a lot of interest, right? And having a lot of interest is cool when you're young because it's like, what do you want to be? You could be anything, whatever, whatever, whatever. Then of course you get older and you have to figure out what you want to do. You got to figure out how you're going to do it. And then there's so much, like, I think we're just used to college being survival mode. So like for me, being a curious person and being in survival mode meant that, like, dog, there were things that I had to do because I had to do them to survive. And then there were things that I wanted to do. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to do it, but I got to survive. Surviving is a 9 to 5 job. And it's just like, I think about it. And when I think about creating Marvel World, it's like, I remember the conversation that I had with myself. I remember the thought process, which was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm tired of people telling me that I got a lot going on. Like, that shit actually offends me when people say that. It's like, oh, damn, nigga, you wrote a book? You got a lot of shit going on. Like, no, I don't, nigga. Like, I just wrote a book. It's the most lot of things going on type of shit to do. I sat down for hundreds of hours to write a book, bro. Like, how is that a lot going on? You're making it seem like I dropped the tour date on you or something like that, right? So I was getting frustrated with that. 2020 comes around. I sunsetted Knocking because I didn't know what to do with Knocking anymore. And it was like, yo, what do I want to do? How are we gonna do this? And that's when I came up with the idea of, like, I think that no matter what I do, I am a storyteller. Like, literally, bro. Like, since I was a kid, since I was in my teens, 20s, like, if you've ever heard me tell a story, the shit, I don't know why I do it like that. I don't even know why I do that. Like, I just do it. Like, that's just how I boom. So there I was, like, da 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 da. Like, shit's just natural. But I'm also a host. I'm also a writer. Like, hosting, I'm just good at it. Writing is my passion. Like, I like writing. And survival mode taught me how to figure things out. Throw a man in the fire, he comes out as steel. Sorry, I had to just pause a little bit. I know the feed was kind of going in and out. And I'm saying all of this stuff to say, essentially, that if I didn't tell people that, like, there's not a lot of conversation to be had about Marvel World. Like, there's not a lot of conversation really to be had about me at all and what I do. And so it's like, everyone who's just like, I want to start a YouTube channel, Alex, but shit, I don't want to talk about that thing. Like, I don't want to talk about it. That's too vulnerable. Or I don't want to do this. I don't like being on camera because it's vulnerable. It's like, yo, what? You are missing out on a top tier opportunity to for real grow an audience. Like, I don't think I can really, like, going back to myself, I'm just a storyteller, bro. Like, I took Marvel World and I focused on being a storyteller in every capacity that I am. And I found out that I already was being a storyteller in every capacity that I was. I'm good at sales. The reason why I'm good at sales is because I know that salespeople who are bald white guys like hearing stories about other bald white guys who are either making money, doing innovative shit, or saving money and staying out the fucking way, right? And so when I call them, I do my research, I come up with a story of, like, this is what I'm going to say to this person, right? I tweeted it today, and I've talked about this before, but like there's a company out there right now called Neuro AI, right? Neuro AI has an autonomous little buggy that will deliver Domino's pizza to your doorsteps. Cool. I think at this point in time, that's not that big of a deal. But like, if you really think about it, that's crazy. Number two, I was the person who introduced them to the technology that allowed for that shit to happen. You can believe it, you cannot. I know I'm probably sounding real Cat Williams-ish right now, but they were delivering in one zip code in Houston, Texas, for Kroger's. Okay. At the time, this is 2019, I was a young sales development representative working on behalf of a company that made $8.7 billion, but had never done outbound sales. They had never done field sales. All their money came from recurring business deals because the level of technology and the level of profitability that is in this location intelligence stuff is crazy. Think about every car that has lane assist. Think about every car that has like the ability to see what the actually I'm going to break it down even simpler. Every car that has a camera on the front of the car is gathering data and sending it to a cloud. And that's basically what these people do. And so I called this company. Did I call them? I emailed this company and I was just like, hey, yo, I heard y'all just doing one zip code. Y'all want to do more than that? Because we got it. And we got the API. We got the algorithm. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. And the guy called me back and he was all like, oh, no. Like, he was like asking questions. I was like, nah, that's unreal. We built this algorithm. We built this algorithm and it was da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, no, but listen, Uber Freight. Listen, like, you're not the only company in the world that has autonomous vehicles. I like what you do though. And if you do this and the guy starts telling me, yo, you know, the buggies can't differentiate between a roundabout and a stop sign, or like a roundabout and a stoplight. So we have to put it in the bike lane and we kind of just pray, you know, it only makes right turns. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So what are y'all doing when I get to a roundabout? He was like, we've lost quite a bit of cars because the buggy would just drive through fucking roundabout. It's crazy, right? And I set that situation up and they talked about it and and I've seen this whole situation. So I say that I'm good at sales because I just tell the fucking story. I don't care about all that other shit. These niggas want to make money or they don't want to make money. They either want to make money or they want to save money. They either want to be innovative. The reason why we had what is his name? Billy McFarland. There we go. Woo. The reason why we had a Billy McFarland, if you remember that name, Fire Festival, the reason why we had a Billy McFarland is because his dream was to be a Steve Jobs. All he wanted to do, you've seen the documentary, all he wanted to do was to be a dude with a clicker in his hand doing keynotes. He wanted to be that important. Sales is psychology, it's emotions, and it's storytelling. Boom. Cool. I'm good at events because I just think about all we have to do is think about the experience that people are going to have when they get here. And to be honest with y'all, they will tell the story to other people about how good this event was. If you're at an event and people don't have their phones out, now it's a little different. It might be a sign that it's actually a good event, right? Depends on the kind of event it is. But if people don't have their phones out, chances are they're probably not having a good time. Now, if they have their phones out and they're having a good time, they're telling a story, someone's going to message them, where you at, what time is it, and how do I need to dress? I'm pulling up right now. Cool. Events are not that complicated. You just got to give a whole lot of energy to it, and that's it. And so everything that I do it's a story, bro. Like, that's literally just how I think about it. Like, I don't really overthink all of the other things and stuff like that. And when you look at social media right now, everybody, and I put this in a little bit of a reel that I posted this morning, like everybody's trying to sell expertise. Like social media is number one. It's not even social anymore. Social media is not about capturing. It's about a sales hook. It's about selling. It's about all this stuff, right? You got the hook, right? So your social media person comes on and they're like, here's 5 things you need to stop doing if you're in your 30s. And everybody's like, oh my God, what should I stop doing? And then he's just like, oh, I can't finish the sentence. Comment stop in the comments, right? It's like, oh, comment. I'm gonna find out he's selling a course, right? Everyone's doing that. And is it getting them virality? Yeah, it's getting the virality, right? You got faceless content now. You have pages that just play aerial footage of just grass fields, right? Even Paul got one. He got one too. That little faceless page. You know what I mean? Like, just you got faceless content where it's just like, now we're convincing people to not be connected or attached to a person. It's crazy. And it's like, now and then you have people who are just like, I don't want to tell people about myself. And it's like, oh, go do a faceless page. Like, a faceless page is perfect for someone who does not want to tell a story about themselves, who doesn't want to be connected to anything, who doesn't want to capture people by way of conviction, or capture people with their story, or to be likable, or to be seen, or to be famous, to be all of these things, right? But if you got a message and you really want it to be known, if you have a talent and you really want it to be seen, like, vulnerable is the way. Like, that's the only way to do it. I think about like performing and like doing poetry, and that shit is hard. Like, performing is hard. Like, I do not listen. Hosting, easy. DJing, and when I say easy, I mean just when you gauge your energy before you're about to do it, you're just like, I got this. All right, cool. But like, yo, performing, no, very, very difficult, extremely difficult. And so, if you don't want to expend that level of energy, don't do this. Don't be a social media person. Don't have your name. Don't have a catchy name on your socials. Just be an AI person. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, it works 100%, but like, with these faceless pages, with all of these, like, I did research on how many social media pages of popular black people are not real. And I was actually kind of caught off guard by that, which is like, everyone gets upset. They're like, oh my God, everyone wants to be us. Everyone wants to imitate us, and they're taking our images and they're pretending to be us and stuff. There's a paper actually. Let me, I almost did the craziest thing. I almost took my mouse and dragged it to a whole different computer. But I'll share this out. Though there's a report, an actual report by the CIA and by an educational institution, I forgot which one it was, about it's literally about the fact that, like, if you want to create a misinformation campaign, the best way to do it is to pretend to be a black woman. I saw that and I was like, that's like, it's in a document listed like that. The black women, oh, hold on. Research suggests that presenting black female activists was the most effective way of building misinformation campaigns. Y'all, we are in an election year. Vulnerability sounds like it doesn't have an impact on the greater good. But I personally, I disagree with that. Like, you just never know who you might impact telling a story. And as a storyteller, that's my biggest thing. Like, yo, let's have these conversations. Like, let's actually start opening up this box a little bit. Let's not wait until celebrities decide to have that conversation. Because by the time they decide to have the conversation, it's going to be Essence Festival like 4 years from now, right? Let's just have the conversation now. Like, everyone's got a platform. What do we want our platform to be? And I know, like, sometimes I think about how this doesn't always match up with the content that I put out sometimes, because sometimes I'm funny and things like that, and sometimes I'm joking around and stuff. But like, I think that's why I don't always like, this is always in that, like, I stopped trying to be funny online a long time ago. You know that most people don't really know where they want to go with that, and that's just me. That's my opinion on it. So all of this is just like, there's a value in the stories that we can tell, like, legit. It does, but it does align, in my opinion. I mean, I can be fun, like, I can be. I'm a certain type of funny that, in my opinion, that's just, I am what I am, kind of thing. But where was I going with that? Yeah, all of the data suggests that, like, there's a value in our stories. There's a value in our stories, and we know that because they're trying to hide our stories. DeSantis. There's a value in our stories because whenever we tell our story, someone starts shouting over us. You know what I'm saying? Color Purple musical comes out, and then all of a sudden, they're coming out with a Mean Girls, a Mean Girls musical at the same time. Like, y'all, come on, come on, come on. Patterns is right. Like, everyone can figure out the patterns of, like, oh, this man wore a dress and then he became famous. Oh, this happened. This NFL must be rigged. But we can't figure out that, like, yo, come on. Faceless pages are blowing up. And then the pages of people who are just like, hey, listen, let's all connect for real. Like, let's connect as people. Those pages are, oh, well, you just gotta add a hook to your line. You gotta add a hook to your reel. Here's 57 things to do on Instagram this year to be very successful at Instagram. Here are 5 things you're doing wrong with your Instagram strategy this year. Here are 7 things you should avoid doing in Instagram this year. Here are 5 ways. Here's 19 ways to blow up your YouTube. Hit the bell for notification. Like, come on, man. Like, there's a reason why, bro. It's because if we're not telling our stories, then shit don't really sound that real. You know what I mean? Like, imitating rich, like, we're being imitated because it's good for business. Because it's almost like a new age minstrel show, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not black, but I determined the best thing for me to do with my artificial intelligence was to make my artificial intelligence black, and patent it so that I can make a lot of money. Like, there's that white boy that literally created an AI that was black. There's That's not coincidence, y'all. Imitating black is really good for everything that's not black. Just like imitating rich works really, really, like, there's always a little bit of a sinister thing to it. Like, it's, Cat Williams talked about, like, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. In our case, it is not. Imitation is the most raw version of sinister almost every time. Like, there's never, like, what has come good from, okay, Rachel Dolezal was like a little bit of a, you know what I mean? She did, Rachel Dolezal is an exception. It as crazy as it sounds, I watched the documentary. I don't think I think she had good intentions. She just forgot she was a white woman. I mean, she forgot she was a white woman, and she tried to handle a situation like a white woman, but she's being black, and they're like, are you Karening us right now?" Like, well, but yeah, imitate like imitation is not the sincerest form of flattery. It's sinister. Like pretending to be rich on Instagram only helps with people scamming you. Pretending to be fit or to being pretending to be fitness person when you know you done got your body done, you cyberpunk 777 out here, like it's only good for people who want attention to you people. Granted, it's not like sinister, but they're not doing it to flatter, right? So it's just like all of this, just to me in my mind, is just like if we want all of this to not matter anymore, I think the simplest way is for people to just be like, nope, we're going to use these platforms, these live platforms. You get 50 followers on YouTube, you can go live. Instagram live, good luck. You get 1,000 followers on TikTok. The amount of people who I've spoken to in the last month who have 1,000 followers who are not going live on TikTok to me is insane. Insane, right? Being fake is by far the best thing. Like it's easy, it's convenient. Vulnerable, that shit is hard. But would you rather be fake and have thousands and it's kind of like it's a bit of a weird thing that I think all of us, even myself, I think about this all the time sometimes. It's like, do I want 150,000 followers? Or like, and how do I want to get that, right? Do I want to put on a dress? Like, what's the standard? And the other side of that is like, or do I want to just connect with people who do I want to connect with people? I've seen people do both. I've seen people do, they're not connected. They're just the face, they take the photo in the mirror like this every time, and boom, they got 10,000. No one knows who the hell this person is. The faceless joint, right? But they're black people, so whatever. And I've also seen it where people are like, "Hey, good morning," like, "What's up?" every single day, and it works. So it's like, it just depends. Which one do you want to be? Which one do we want to be? Which one do I want to be? I think 2024, going back, age of Aquarius, a lot of things are going to come forward. I think 2024 is the year for people to really start tapping in. And I'm not even going to really say like be vulnerable. I'm going to say people just need to figure out their narrative, like figure out your story and then tell it. If you want to be vulnerable, cool. You want to tell the full story, the full details. You want to write a memoir. You want to be Stefan, what's the name? Stefan, big superhead, whatever. Like you want to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. That's fine. You want to tell your part and what's important while saving some people bro. Yeah, I'm not saying to like oust the reopen wounds and shit like that, but I think no one's story is of little value. And that's kind of just where I like stand on the thing. Like being vulnerable is like a language that other people can hear you speak, where they realize that your story and their story is almost the same. Like I wrote a book last year. I too cry purple tears. Had anybody actually, I take that back. I had been approached about ghostwriting before. And what I realized is I don't because empath, right? Ghostwriting, if you're writing from a standpoint of like, actually, it really doesn't matter what standpoint you're writing from. Now I think about it. Ghostwriting is extremely uh, emotionally draining because, at least for me, I am trying to think like you. So you're giving me raw information, and I am trying to think like how you would think. And that shit is hard to do when you're that is really hard to do when if you're talking to an idiot, right? Like if you're talking to someone who's just like, yo, I want to write this book, dog, and the book is about how the earth flat. Okay. It's a dome over us made of carbon fiber. I don't want to like I can't write that, bro, because I'm just gonna be like, oh, you're not serious right now. Like, I can't write that. Take that to ChatGPT. With I Too Cry Purple Tears, it was a story that hit home. Like the shit hit home for real, for real. Like, oh, we're talking about DV. Like, okay, man. And some of the just in the initial conversation about like, hey, this is what I want to write about. I was like, yeah, that sounds. Man, I went through something like that as a kid. Like as a kid, and my mother like, all right, damn, shit, bro. All right, man. I'm like, man, let me sleep on it, let me think about it. And obviously the rest is history, right? I connected with the story and to some degree. If y'all read it, I actually have the opening statement of that whole book. Like the intro is written by me, like talking about the book. Every single story that I write, the intro is always written by me, telling you essentially in some way why I wrote this book or something that just is a connection to something else about the book. And with that, when I was talking about, yo, this is wild. I'm a black man writing about a survivor who is a black woman. And in our day and age, hell nah. You know what I mean? Like some people wouldn't be for that. Some people are just like the biggest perpetrators against black women are black men. I don't want to read, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I hear you, but listen to this part. Boom. And it was two people being extremely vulnerable in the writing. I'm not gonna tell y'all how deep things got, but Brooke basically told me like why she wanted to do it. I started Marvel World because I just figured out why I wanted to do it. I was tired of people telling me that they don't know. You got a lot going on. God damn. You got a damn, Alex. You got a lot going on. You wrote a book. God damn, Alex. You got a lot going on. What? You're divorced now? You got a lot going on. Oh man. You got to stream, you're streaming on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and Facebook. Man, you got a lot going on. Yo, Facebook is so wow. Okay, Facebook is like an hour behind us. But yeah, like I don't have a lot going on. I'm a storyteller, and I write, record, do live events, and I develop ideas with people. I help them. I help them tell their story. I help them build their story. I help them do whatever it is that they want to do with their story. Alex Auguste Marvel. Do I need to tell everyone how to do that? I could, and I think that's valuable. Am I going to start every video with here's 5 reasons why you should tell your story? Bro. Intrusive thoughts. Now I'm like, what if I did do that? Just let me just see what would happen. Like, but I think, vulnerability, yo. I think that's really the name of the game. And as like I'm talking about earlier, people are like, what are we talking about on this stream? If I go on your stream, what are we talking about? Like, you can tell me what box you want to what walls you have. It's just like any conversation. Like I wouldn't just let somebody walk up to me and start talking to me about, just anything they think they know about me. Like I wouldn't do that. So there's guardrails and everything like that. It is what it is. But I definitely think that this is the year that I think everybody can grow in what they're doing. I think everyone can see kind of all of those things come together. I definitely know that I can. I definitely know that I want to and I will. There's a lot of vulnerability in this YouTube shit. I am not one to show people my house or show people my place of residence. So YouTube will only get this frame because I'm protective about that kind of stuff. It's my piece, bro. Give me 1 second. Oh my second camera. Oh Lord Jesus is a fire. Yeah, I'm not one to just show people my place of residence. Um I get very so yeah, I'm not shit, I ain't master expert, master Yoshi about this vulnerability thing, but I think that it works, right? There you got to give people something. Do I like walking around with my camera every time? Like, oh, I gotta vlog this. Damn. I mean, what a life we chose. The Vivid Life tour. You know what I mean? Like, there's a story to be told even in my own life. It doesn't have to be one giant grandiose story. It could just be like, hey, this is where we at. And I'm actually now finding, some people journal, some people write down their thoughts and stuff like that. I'm finding a lot of like kind of joy in just vlogging. It's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much, if I could have your attention for, 2 hours on a solo show on a Wednesday night, I think that's my message, as I'm going into 34, as I'm moving forward, it's just like I now recognize that like I'm just one of those people who's always gonna appreciate real, raw people being themselves. Originality is a hell of a championship belt to keep around your waist, and people will always be like, "Oh, this person stole this," and it's like, a lot of people steal a lot of stuff. You gonna call all of them out? How much stuff are we or how much stuff are people individually stealing from each other? It's cool. What's that song? It's cool when the celebrities do it, but it's not cool when you. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so I want to quickly just do a little bit of promo. As you guys see, I have a brand new shirt on, My Real Vivid Life, the large T-shirts. I do have a brand new pair of shoes. I'm very undecided on whether or not I'm going to release the shoes. I think I just like them for myself, just being very transparent. We've got other shirts as well. And the idea is that all of these will be available, kind of doing like a little bit of a rollout for you all to see what those look like. That's going to be on January 24th. So that is 2 weeks from now. Vivid Life TV right here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, man. Like Instagram, dog. It's crazy. But also, as with what I talked about last week, I am offering as seen on TV discount. You know what I'm saying? A little 1-800 situation right now. Subscriptions for Alex Auguste. I talked about the gold tracker, sending it out to subscribers. If you're interested and if you want that gold tracker, I think I'm just gonna still drop it anyway, but only to my paid subscribers. This did it right there. Boom. This is the QR code to sign up. Taking that QR code over to the website, you get $2 off the subscription to I Am Alex Auguste. I'm going to be rolling out some offers to that as well, including some really heavy discounts, 60% off, which is crazy because it's like, well, The max is out at $5.99. I'm not breaking the bank, y'all. Like, you subscribe, you get it, it's cool. And part of those discounts or part of those memberships also offers monthly drops of just discounts, sales to Vivid Life apparel, including Vivid Life apparel premiere. So that's all going to be rolled out in detail on January. I almost said April. I don't know why. January 17th, right here on Vivid Life TV. It's officially 10:30, and I think we can call it a night. Super excited. Got brand new guests and a pretty good lineup coming up soon here on. Dude, you ever, my bad, rabbit hole. You ever just hear like a Tesla pass like your window and it just sounds like a alien spacecraft? It's just like, yeah, that was, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 10:30. 2 hours is a good time. Last week we were on for 2 hours and 46 minutes. I think Paul and I were also on for like 2 hours and 36 minutes or something like that. So let's not Cat Williams the night away. And let's just call it a night here. Thank you all for tuning in to Vivid Life TV. As always, recaps of this stream will be available on alexauguste.com. So check that out, as well as subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube, hit the bell for notifications for personalized videos and brand new vlogs just like this. And of course, if you're on Twitch, be sure to follow me on Twitch as well. I do game. I have not been on any sticks in a little bit of time. Bear with me. I will be planning when my next gaming session will be. I got a lot of things moving around and changes happening all at the same time. So y'all bear with me. But nonetheless, y'all, take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Be the storyteller that you are. And I will see y'all next week right here. Same time, same place. Right here on Vivid Life TV.
On the way now. I've been on the way now. Run on off, you change on the way.
Whoa. Hold up. Wait. I almost forgot, yo. Oh my. Okay. I am proud to announce that Alex Auguste is officially heading to Orlando, Florida, February 18th as an ambassador for the Black Boy Art Show. So, Orlando, Florida, and all of your beautiful creatives, artists, musicians, I will see you there February 18th. Follow me on Instagram. I am Alex Auguste for more details to come, including ticket information and how you can possibly win one. Let's do two free tickets to the Black Boy Art Show. Y'all have a good night.